Welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the RiNoLock 1100. I have two of them set out here. One is the 1105 and the other is the 1106. Both of these locks were purchased off of Amazon, and you may have seen me rake this lock open or even open it with two picks on my short videos. Now, the 1105 is supposed to come with a 1-inch shackle, and the 1106 is supposed to come with a 1.5-inch shackle. To show the versatility of these locks, I went ahead and took the shackle from another 1106 that I had and went ahead and swapped it onto the 1105. With that being said, both came with a 5-pin cylinder. Both of them are supposed to come with a 5-pin cylinder with the ability to go ahead and pin up a 6th pin. Now, if you want a 6-pin American lock, usually you are going to look for the 1165 or the 1166, which are pretty much the same as previously mentioned, except for that third digit being a 6 to represent that the 6th hole is actually pinned. Now, why was I able to rake this one on the left, yet not able to rake the normal American lock? Well, fun fact for you guys. If you didn't already know, American Lock was acquired by Master Lock in 2003. So a lot of the locks have interchangeable cores, as we already know. We can take the core out of this. It stands to reason that we would get or be able to go ahead and slip a Master Lock core into an American Lock 1100. Besides the Master Locks cores going in there, you can also use the ABUS 3455 as well as the 34CS55 and the ABUS 72 cores or cylinders to load up into these locks. Now, if we just take a look at the keys here, you will notice the warding is actually different. First off, you see that the warding on this key is on the right side of the key, and the warding on the right side here, this key on the right, is actually on the left side of the key. We can also see that I've marked out the pin depths for each key. We got 2, 5, 4, 4, 5, and 1. So this is a 6-pin lock for the one on the left, and the one on the right is going to be 5, 7, 8, 3, 4. It is a 5-pin lock. Now, when you're looking for an American Lock 1100 series, try to pay close attention to the description to see what you are getting. Unfortunately, when I purchased this lock, it did not have a very well written out description, but it ended up being a very interesting find for myself because I learned a lot more about the American Lock and why this one can be raked versus this one. One of the first things that we are going to look at here is if we take the key and we go ahead and put it into the lock and turn it, we will notice that the core is actually a dead core. We are able to turn the key, let go of it, and it will stay in the position that we have left it in. If we do the same for the one on the right, we will note that when I try to let go of the key, it just snaps back into position. So the actuator inside of this lock is actually spring loaded versus the actuator in this lock. Some of you may wonder, what does that mean? What is a spring-loaded actuator? Well, luckily we have this cutaway here, and we can see right here in the cutaway the spring that is actually allowing the tension of the cylinder to revert back to its original position. Now, let's go ahead and actually open these up and take a closer look at this spring, or at the pins. We will first go ahead and open up the American lock on the left. We are going to use bottom of the keyway tension on this, and we have a Southward Slimline sharp rake, and when we go in to do this, we're going to leave very light tension and do a rocking motion as we pull out. There we go. That one is open. Let's go ahead and open up the other one. Very light tension again, but this time we are going to single pin pick this. We got some movement on 4. 5. Come back to 1, 2, 3. 5 drop down. Go back to 1, 2, 3. And there we go. We got the open on our second American lock. Let's go ahead and disassemble these real quick and take a closer look. Let's go ahead and get the second one open. We are going to take a quick look at the back of each one of these, and we can see that on the lock on the left, this tang is a pretty thin compared to the tang on the right. So that is another difference to note. We can also get a very good view of the warding between the two locks here. The one on the left, we can see that the bottom of the keyway is very open, and compared to what we are typically used to seeing on American 1100, where the bottom of the keyway is not as open, the warding is taking up a lot more of that space. So that is an interesting note there. Now, that is because this uses the W401 cylinder, which is actually a master lock keyway. So for those that were wondering why I was getting this lock open so quickly, it is actually because it is a master lock keyway that we are dealing with compared to our typical American lock keyway here. Now let's go ahead and dump out the pins on both of these and take a look at the pins on the inside. One of the easiest ways to remove these clips for me, I actually just go ahead and grab whatever pick I have at the time and my tension wrench, put there at the side, and just pop it off like that. There we go. We'll do the other one at the same time. Alright, we got both clips off. We notice that this is more of an E-style clip, and that's our standard clip as we are used to seeing as well. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a shim. And let's go ahead and grab our follower and push that out. And there you can see that we have 6 pins in there. Go and set that to the side for a second. All right, let's go ahead and grab us another follower real quick, and we'll go ahead and slip this shim out from underneath here. Let's go and push this on out. Now earlier I did drop a pin out of this. I dropped pin 1 out earlier, and luckily, as you see, that is a spool. That spool didn't hang us up. We got lucky on that one. Go and set that to the side. Here's the pin 1 on there. We'll set that to the side. And let me go ahead and adjust my mat, and we'll go and dump these pins out. And so 1, we have a serrated. 2, serrated bottom. 3, serrated bottom. 4, serrated bottom. 5, we still have a serrated bottom. So there is our American lock that we are typically used to seeing. We'll go ahead and pop out the pins. Get the top pins out here. Take a look at those. We already have 1 out. Let's take a look at 2. Serrated. 3. It's going to be a spool. Let's go ahead and do it from the back now. 5 is a spool. And 4 is a serrated. Now that we have those out, let's go ahead and do the American lock with the master cylinder. We can see that we have 6 pins in there. 1, bottom pin is a standard pin. 2, standard pin. 3, standard pin. 4, standard pin. 5, standard pin, and 6, standard pin. Let's take a quick look at the top pins. One, we have a spool, but it looks to be like the typical standard spool you would find in a master lock. It is not serrated. 2, we have a serrated pin, but the serrations are very shallow compared to the serrations we find in the typical 1100. 3, we have another spool. Flip the lock over. Let's do it from the back. 6, we have a spool. 5, we have another spool. And 4, we have yet another master lock unserrated spool. So as you can see, the reason why we are able to rake open this Series 1100 American lock is actually due to the fact that the core itself is none other than a master lock. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for viewing. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and share this video, comment, like, do all those things. You know, typical stuff, what everybody says. And we will catch you in the next video.